welcome to another episode of Tell It to the World. Today we're here downtown Orlando and we're talking to the people about a crazy topic. Now, instead of parents calling their babies, now they want to call them Theybies. So instead of having a boy or a girl, they would now call them Theybies, having a gender-neutral connotation to it. And what we're going to do is actually talk to the people and see what their take is on this specific subject. Afterwards, we leave them with the great controversy, a national Sunday law, and a Sabbath tract. So stay tuned.
All right, so welcome back to another episode of Tell It to the World. I'm here in downtown Orlando, and we're going to get right into the interview here. Now, according to Fox News, it says some parents across the country are deliberately keeping their child's sex hidden and instead raising so-called Theybies rather than babies. Now, on a recent edition of Tucker Carlson, he debated a liberal commentator who argued in favor of this new term and this new movement of Theybies. And I just want you to take a listen to a little bit of the excerpt of that debate here.
It's about allowing the baby to decide what gender that baby wants to be when that baby can decide, which is around 4 years old. So from 0 to 4, the baby will not be labeled. The labeling theory will not apply from 0 to 4 years old. The baby will be a theyby, neither a boy nor a girl.
Right. So what are your thoughts on Theybies, as she mentioned before, not labeling the child male or female, but allowing the child at age 4 to define its own gender? What are your thoughts on Theybies?
Right now, there's no way a 4-year-old can identify his gender at a young age. There's no way. And that then you have to deal with what's in the background of the family. Abuse, neglect, drunkenness, murder, jealousy, envy, that's all family roots. So basically, that child at 4 cannot say, oh, I want to be a girl or I want to be a boy. There's no way, because they don't know what the family history is about.
So, Bruchetta, what are your thoughts on Theybies?
Why would they do that to such a young child? I mean, if we've been saying boy or girl for the longest time, what's the problem? So you shouldn't have to put that on people. If some people want to do that, that's fine. But for the massive majority of people, especially if you're Christian, you're just going to say boy or girl.
Now, why don't we allow 4-year-olds to drink alcohol, to rent a car, or even to buy a gun?
They're not responsible yet. They don't understand. That's why they have parents. So then people are guiding them. So if your guidance is already giving you no label, then you're not going to know who you are. So it's gonna confuse a child even further. At
the age of 4, a child is not really thinking about, am I a girl or am I a boy? They're thinking of playing or any other thing like that. You know what I mean? That's what's on their mind. So, can they even decide, or even process the fact that I want to be a girl or I want to be a boy?
No. I think at age of 10, preteen, that's when they decide, oh, I want to be in this gender, I want to be in that gender. That's in my opinion.
Okay, that's fair. Now, according to CBN News, the headline reads, "This is straight up child abuse." Now, according to CBN News, parents brought up great points in the video comment section. So that video I played there, parents were commenting on what they thought about it. And this is what some of them said. They said, kids at that age believe there are dogs, cats, and even fantasy creatures such as unicorns, basically saying that they don't have any time to think about their own gender roles. A child growing up at the age of 4 is like, I want to be a dog, mommy, I want to be a cat, I want to be a unicorn. And in the same article, it went on to say that this is straight up child abuse to allow a child to choose their own gender. They shouldn't be choosing their own diet at that age, much less how they want to change their anatomy. And they went on to say that parents who do this are purposely putting their children in a situation where they're going to come to harm, and that's why it's abusive.
So do you believe that allowing a child at the age of 4 to choose their official gender, do you believe that that is child abuse? And it doesn't have to be physical. It can even be mental, psychological, or anything.
I mean, I was one of those children that thought I was a unicorn at 4. So me saying if I was a boy or a girl at 4 probably wouldn't make any difference to the preferences of what I like or what I like to do. As they eventually grow, I don't think that's going to set them in stone on what they plan on doing for the future. So just like I changed from being a unicorn to a girl, if they decide they're going to change from being a boy back to a girl or a girl back to a boy, that is up to them and how they see their future.
So what if they even came to the point where they wanted sexual reassignment? Would that be okay at that age?
I don't think they quite understand. No, because that's not puberty. Like, that's just physically, that would physically be a mutilation.
So is it child abuse to allow a 4-year-old to choose their own gender, in your opinion?
Well, it's just not good parenting. I mean, child abuse, that's very, very extreme, but it's just not good parenting at all. I mean, you're supposed to be the parent, you're supposed to be having the upper hand on the child, not saying, oh, you do as you want. Like, would you allow your child to cross the road when it's busy? Absolutely not. So it doesn't make sense to something that big of a magnitude to let them to do on their own.
And Bruschetta, some of the same comments you're saying now are what these parents said as well. Listen to this next comment. It says, since when did the children become the parents? Right. Parents have been reduced to babysitters rather than teachers. We are to teach the children what is true. So as you, as a parent, look at society today, does it seem as though most parents have become babysitters instead of teaching their children right from wrong?
I wouldn't say babysitters. I would say, like, they want to be best friends. They want to be cool. They want to have their child like them, but almost like in a friendly way. Your child is going to love you when you take care of them, when you tell them no, because then they'll understand, oh, my mom and my dad cares about me because they told me no for this. They may not like you right now, but eventually they'll understand. I had the same thing happen with my parents. They do weird things I thought in my brain as a little kid, but now I understand as a parent, they are doing that for my own good so then I could, have a good life, so I can make right decisions. So all that is good parenting. So I just think that people are just trying to be friends. They want to be cool. So then their kid wants to hang out with them or whatever the case is. I don't know, but it's just, you have to be a good parent, not the best friend.
So as you look at society today, especially because you're a parent, does it seem as though most parents have become babysitters rather than teaching their children right from wrong?
Oh, definitely have to say so. It almost appears that the roles have been changed around where parents are being guided now by their children out of fear of whatever. Maybe it's out of fear of losing their child, out of fear of ending up being exposed for trying to correct your child. That's the key. Ended up being exposed for correcting your child, because there's so many people that are popping up and saying, hey, what do why are you correcting your child that way? Why are you talking to your child like that? That's the key problem, and you're right. The kids are now dictating to the parents what should be going on. They want to be so buddy-buddy with their children, and it's wrong.
Now, Everett, is there any good, in your opinion, that can come from changing these biological and traditional gender roles?
To make it a closed-ended question, no. To explain why, no, there's nothing good coming out of that, because what's going to end up happening is it's going to cause more confusion, social confusion. Now you got a kid that's going into that's a male, born a male, going into a female bathroom. You got a female going to a male bathroom. This is nothing but confusion. There's a reason that even, let's talk on a more, I guess humanistic level. There are animals that are born. They're labeled male or female. No one's just saying this is a they, animals that are born. That's how serious that this is. We're talking about people. We're not talking about animals. You got male animals, you got female animals. They do different things. They produce different things. That's what it is.
Now, something you said really stuck out to me, and you said that it's confusion. And, when we look in the Bible, it does say that this is confusion, especially with the homosexual lifestyle and other things. But we see here from Scripture in Genesis 1:29 that God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And so even God himself, when he created us, just like you said, there is a gender distinction. He made male, he made female. There's no in between. And so when we see this movement in society trying to blur the lines between man and woman, male and female, we know that it is a sign God's image is being distorted in man by Satan, and Christ is about to come. So what we have for you today, we're going to leave you with an article, speaks more about this subject, Everett. And also we have a gift for you, talking about how history is being repeated. And the book Great Controversy in there goes on to discuss, the times in which we're living and to really explain how these things tie into Bible prophecy. So what we want to do is just leave that with you. And any last comments?
Well, as you're saying, as you mentioned in the Bible, this is the key here. This is going to unfold, and I believe that it's Christians, it's their duty to make aware and maybe sway those that are going in the wrong direction. Those that we can, because with the Bible being fulfilled, the prophecy being fulfilled, it doesn't say that we're going to be able to stop everything because it's not supposed to be stopped. We're supposed to inform and make aware to those that will have that open ear. If they have an open ear, open mind, and they're changed, so be it. That's great. But we cannot change every person because it's not supposed to be everybody changed. The Bible doesn't say you're going to change everybody. It says, no, this is going to happen. So it means it has to happen. It's going to happen. At the same time, make this very clear, we should be able to make aware to those that are lost because you never know who's going to actually be changed from this by you talking to them. So that's the key point there.
All right, thank you so much. It was a great interview.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for watching another episode of Tell It to the World. As we can see, prophecy is being fulfilled. But what are your thoughts on Theybies? Do you believe 4-year-olds are mature enough to decide whether or not they want to be a male or female? Share with us your comment in the comment box below. And don't forget to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll see you next time.